What's going on, guys? Expect, and today we got NFT talks. We all know Bored Apes, CryptoPunk, those works. A lot of these projects, those are the blue chip kind of NFTs. Maybe the ones that could survive this bubble popping, but it seems like the hype of NFTs could very easily be over. Our favorite people like Gary V, Floyd Mayweather, and Jake Paul no longer going to be promoting too much NFTs as the hype seems to die down. I'm sure there'll still be things here and there, but the bubble seems to be bursting where many projects are barely even breaking even most of them are completely collapsing in value because we all know there is no utility in NFTs. They're only buying them to try and flip it to another person for more money than they paid for it. This is extremely obvious when we see this most recent thing going on in NFTs with the first tweet that was bought as an NFT like a year ago or something, and the person bought it for $2.9 million or 2 point something million dollars, and they waited till right now and they listed it for $40 million, and their highest bid was $290. So if that doesn't describe everything that's going on in NFTs, I don't know what will. Basically, everyone's trying to get rich quick, flip these things and get early in the project and then sell out for some profit. But it doesn't seem like that's the case, especially when you try and sell an NFT for $40 million and your highest bid is less than $300. Seems like the bubbles may be popping there, but a lot of people talk about gaming NFTs, and that just doesn't seem like a thing that's going to be that viable because there's a lot of services. Steam, in particular, has already banned NFT games or crypto games. They don't want anything to do with it, and they're a massive distributor of games. So it's going to be hard to distribute NFT games. But if even NFTs in general, people aren't excited about them. Gamers don't want them. There's huge backlash against every game that has NFTs in them because no one wants to deal with it. Who wants to pay extra gas fees to buy a skin or trade a skin that they just want to have in their account and use? So it doesn't make much sense. A lot of people, say gaming, and it can make sense in some ways and think like make that economy. But I mean, CS:GO did that. They had a very great skin economy, and it wasn't NFT based. So you can do all this stuff without NFTs. That's the biggest problem. Is there's no problem NFTs are solving that isn't already done and doesn't need to be fixed. So you talk about tickets and QR codes, that doesn't need to be NFT. They work great the way they are. All of these different types of things don't need to be NFTs. They work great the way they are, but it's very difficult to sell an investment if you just make a website with a paid subscription to access something. So NFTs in a very tough spot, but even tougher if you look at their Google Trends right here, because it is not looking good for NFTs. Not at all. We see this little bit of a spike up here in 2021, starting here, a little bit of a hype, fell back down, and then the massive hype drive here in 2022, 2020, where everything was an NFT. Every project had an NFT. Every influencer was sponsored by NFTs. They were advertising them, saying, this is the next thing, get rich quick, it's going to be great. And none of it's great. All of it is get rich quick for the influencer who promotes it and the dev team behind it, but nobody else gets rich quick. They get broke pretty quick, actually. So, but we see the bubble might be popping here with a massive downward turn here. So look at Google going to 22 from 100, a massive drop, almost 80% drop in interest of NFTs, in searching of NFTs. I think people are just getting, upset, fed up, and not interested in this space because they wanted to make money. They gave us some time to make money, and it's not making any money, and their NFTs don't do anything. So, I mean, the Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT, that one might be able to get some utility where you can get some networking out of it, where, you can get onto the yacht clubs, you can do all of this stuff, but ultimately it's not that insane. But crypto punks are pretty much by themselves as well. They're basically collectibles, even though their value might drop down. So you can say that about every NFT, it's a collectible. But for most people, they just want to sell their NFT for more money than what they bought it for, and they want to own the next crypto punk before it's a crypto punk, which just doesn't seem like it's going to happen. I mean, if we just go to OpenSea, the place where probably everybody buys and sells NFTs, They're just, you just scroll through this and they're all the same thing. It's all random animals, random creatures, pretty cartoon art, and it's just all the exact same thing going on. There's nothing special about these things. There's no utility in them at all. There's just a JPEG that's not even on the blockchain. Don't forget that. It doesn't live on the blockchain. It lives in a URL link. So if your URL link all of a sudden stopped working, you would lose your image and you would have a string of letters and numbers that is no longer worth anything. So that's all of this stuff. But you can see everything here. It's so similar. It's all the same thing. NFT lottery. That sounds like it could be a great scam. But all of these things, they're all the same thing. Nothing crazy going on. They're all just JPEGs trying to get you to buy them so that the developers can make money, the promoters can make money, and then the people in between, the buyers and sellers and investors in these NFTs, are much more than likely going to lose money on this JPEG. So NFTs in a weird spot for them because there's the vast majority of them have no utility, no use case, no nothing. And contrary to popular belief for everything, if you see this bubble popping here and you say, I'll just scoop up a bunch for the cheap and they'll come back up in value and they'll be great. I'll make millions. But not every pointy line chart goes back up. There's lots of them that actually never go back up and stay worthless. So we saw that in ICOs back in the day in 2017. ICO was the hot thing. It was amazing. You wanted to get in on the ICO because you were going to become a millionaire. And the same hype cycle is happening with NFTs. You want to get on NFTs, you want to become a millionaire. And it always just goes to nothing. So although, all of these ICOs traded at almost nothing, they collapsed to nothing. These NFTs are collapsing to nothing. Bitcoin flew to new all-time highs on this chart. So, all of these ICOs, these coins, these things, you say everything comes back up, everything will come back. It's just not true. Not to mention the SEC is involved in some of these things here now, going after either things like Safe Moon, we've seen them going after even these NFT promotions and all of these. So it's a very kind of murky area right now. A lot of securities involved, maybe securities fraud. SEC is going to go after that, see if they find anything. But it does seem like there's a little bit of fishy stuff going on in any market, but it's kind of just crazy to see, everything repeating itself for just exactly how it happened before. 2017, ICOs was all the hype, these massive pumps. People thought they were going to be millionaires. They cracked it all. They were going to be rich, and then they collapsed to nothing. And we're seeing a similar thing play out with NFTs and the hype here. Things exploded. They went super high, and they're going to collapse. Already started collapsing and could very easily go to being worthless, except for a couple here, probably CryptoPunks and Bored Ape Yacht Club. Those are probably some of the only ones that'll make it through this thing of collapsing to zero. So we'll see how it all works out. I think that, NFTs, if they want to stick around, they have to find utility. They cannot just be JPEGs. We're already seeing interest collapse. So if they want to stay relevant, you have to make them do something and not just be a JPEG and call it a collectible. So we'll see how it all works out. But as always, that's going to do it for this video, guys. Don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. And I'll see you guys in my next